name's Vanessa Joanne and I'm from Spin with V Studios. I'm just going to quickly show you how to cool down after a class. So I've just done a class myself and I'm just going to basically show you how I cool down. Now there's going to be future videos ahead where we'll be doing yoga sessions. We'll be doing all different styles of yin inspired workouts to really allow with the stretching and that sort of things. But this is basically what I do after every class I do in person. So I'm just going to quickly show you here. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to bring our leg forward and flex the feet as we lean forward. Now another option is you can come a little bit higher with the resistance or intensity, bringing it up. I like to go lower just because I don't want to do height. You can keep a soft bend in the other leg and we want to fold over, flexing the feet here. So you want to feel this behind the, obviously the calf, the hamstring, and we're holding here as long as we can. We obviously want to do both sides as well, as it's very important we do get into obviously the hamstrings. So once we've done a couple of those sides there, we'll then move into a foot above the knee standing pigeon. So the foot's just going to hover above the knee. We're going to squat it down, holding onto the bike. Now, if you're trying to find your balance, please don't do that, okay? I would highly recommend just honestly holding onto the bike and maybe pushing down that knee a little bit so you can open up your hips and even your glutes as well. So we really want to, it's quite an intense pose and a tense movement when it comes to stretching. We want to obviously get into the back of the legs. So feel free to hold these poses, and I say poses because I'm a yoga teacher, but holding these stretches for at least, 10 to 20 seconds, even 30 seconds, just to really get into obviously those muscles. Once we've done both sides, we are just going to flip it behind into our quaddies, as I say. So we're going to bring the foot behind us, keep the knee in alignment with the other knee, and we want to bring the heel to the glute, holding ourselves up and once again holding onto the bike. If you're trying to find this whole balancing, look, hey, if you can do it, that's great. But I just think it's really good to have that stability as well when you come to doing these poses. And then we're just going to go to the other stretch. So getting into the quads, once again, getting as much as we can, getting that knee close to the other knee, bringing that heel in, opening up the chest and really getting into the hip flexor and the quads. Now, another stretch we can do is going into high lunge, or even just a warrior one really with our heel down. So really what we want to do, especially if you've got spin shoes like me, you can't really be coming onto your toes. So we want to kind of have our feet in a nice wide split position, keep our knees straight and our hips straight, and we're shifting our weight towards the front of the room. Now you can hold onto the bike for that bit more stability, and then we're just going to shift back and flex that foot, going into another calf stretch. Just a little bit more deeper as well. If you want to go further, you can sort of bring your heel, to the corner of your bike and go down that way. That's a lot more harder and a lot more intense, but it's really going to depend how far you want to go into the stretches. Then we're going to go to the other side. So just once again, keeping your back heel down for this one, shifting our hips forward, keeping our feet nice and square. And we want to feel once again deeper into the hip flexors. And then we come back, slight bend in the knee as we really go a little bit lower. You'll feel this in the calves because you'll be really surprised how much we need a lot of strong calves when it comes to spin and cycle, because they're our function. Like that's what gets us going, and a lot of us don't stretch those areas enough. Then we're going to go to a forward fold. So your feet are going to be shoulder width apart. Hopefully you guys can see me. And then what we're going to do is hinge to the back of the room or back of behind you, and we're going to go all the way down to the ground. We are going to touch our feet, our shins, the ground, the shoes, whatever you can get. We want to get into the back of the legs, okay? Now, if you deal with any dizziness, any vertigo, I wouldn't suggest doing this. I would honestly instead sit down and do a forward fold, which once again, future videos are going to be on the channel about that. So leaning back, make sure you have your hands all the way to the ground or to wherever you can, and then coming all the way up. And then we're just going to finalize it with doing a bit of like a cat stretch. So you can hold onto the bike here and really just shift the hips back. So you want to have a slight bend in the knee. Hold on to the bike, make sure that it's very stable. If it's not, you can sort of hold on to anything else, whether it is, a corner of a room or even holding onto a chair or like a stable bench. What you want to do is have a slight bend at the knee, and really shift forward, getting into like a nice big stretch, because you'd be really surprised that you actually do work a bit of your upper body for that stability for the whole class, right? So we want to be here for a little bit. And then what we're going to do is I like to even sit on the bike and do some arm stretches. Like I said, you'd be really surprised that you do use a bit of your arms. So we do some of the shoulder stretches here, getting into the back of the shoulders, back of the back as well. And then I like to get into the triceps. So I like to look down for this one, making sure that I'm looking down so I'm not putting any strain on my neck. Once again, especially if we're doing push-ups and planks and stuff like that, you know, you are utilizing your triceps, you are utilizing your chest muscles. You'll bring your hands behind, lift up through the chest, and maybe do a little bind, a little twist, from the waist, if that's appropriate and possible for you. And then what I like to finish off with is a cat and cow on hands on knees. So I'm going to show you on the side. Your hands are going to be on the knees, just like I showed you with that sort of hinge movement. What we want to do here is inhale as we stick the tailbone out, and we want to bring the chin up for the cow position, and then exhale round. So once again, we use a lot of core work, lower back work when it comes to the bike, especially for stability work. So this is really good to really stretch it out. And yeah, really, that's basically all I do when it comes to my stretches, and especially after a class. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully you guys are able to do that after a class. Very important you stretch after a class, just because we do put a lot of load on our body. So it's really good to do that cool down afterwards. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.